Joseph dreams and betrayed the journey of faith and destiny. The story of Joseph is one of the most powerful tales of faith, betrayal, and divine destiny in the Bible. It is a story that reminds us that even in the darkest moments of life, God's plan is unfolding in ways we cannot yet see. Joseph was the 11th son of Jacob, a man chosen by God to lead a family that would become a nation. Unlike his brothers, Joseph was his father's favorite. Jacob loved Joseph deeply and showed it openly. He gave Joseph a richly ornamented coat, a coat of many colors, a symbol of his special place in Jacob's heart. This favoritism, however, did not sit well with his brothers. They were jealous, bitter, and full of resentment. Their hearts grew heavy with envy every time Joseph spoke of his dreams that seemed to elevate him above them. Joseph had a gift from God, the ability to dream and to interpret dreams. From a young age, he shared his dreams with his family, unaware of the consequences they would bring. In one of his first dreams, he saw his brother's sheaves of wheat bowing down to his sheaf. In another, the sun, the moon, and 11 stars bowed to him. When Joseph shared these dreams, his brothers' envy turned to hatred. "Do you think you will reign over us?" they asked, their voices dripping with anger. Joseph, innocent and unaware of the danger, continued to share his visions, believing in the destiny that God had placed before him. One day, Jacob sent Joseph to check on his brothers who were tending their flocks. As Joseph approached, his brothers plotted against him. The jealousy and hatred in their hearts had grown too strong to contain. They seized him, tore off his coat, and threw him into a pit, leaving him to die. But their plan did not succeed as they had imagined. Instead, Joseph's life was preserved, though not in freedom. Some traders passed by on their way to Egypt, and the brothers sold Joseph to them for 20 pieces of silver. They then deceived their father, showing him Joseph's coat dipped in goat's blood, convincing Jacob that his beloved son was dead. Joseph was taken to Egypt, a foreign land filled with uncertainty and danger. Yet, even in this moment of betrayal, Joseph's faith did not waver. He trusted in God's plan, even though he could not see it clearly. In Egypt, Joseph's journey was far from easy. He was sold as a slave to Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh. Joseph worked diligently in Potiphar's house, and his integrity, faith, and dedication did not go unnoticed. God blessed everything Joseph did, and Potiphar recognized his abilities, eventually putting Joseph in charge of his entire household. However, success in a foreign land brought new challenges. Potiphar's wife, captivated by Joseph's appearance and character, tried to seduce him. Joseph refused her advances, staying true to his principles and to God. But his refusal angered her, and in revenge, she falsely accused Joseph of wrongdoing. Potiphar, believing his wife, had Joseph thrown into prison. In the darkness of the prison, one might have expected despair to take hold, but Joseph's faith remained unshaken. Even in confinement, God's presence was with him. The warden saw Joseph's wisdom and integrity and put him in charge of the other prisoners. It was in this prison that Joseph's gift of dream interpretation became a beacon of hope. Pharaoh's chief cupbearer and baker were imprisoned alongside him, troubled by dreams they could not understand. Joseph listened carefully and, through God's wisdom, interpreted their dreams. The cupbearer's dream foretold his restoration to Pharaoh's service, while the baker's foretold his execution. Joseph's interpretations proved true, and the events unfolded exactly as he had said. 2 years later, Pharaoh himself was troubled by dreams that no one could interpret. In his dreams, 7 fat cows were eaten by 7 thin cows, and 7 healthy ears of grain were swallowed by 7 thin and withered ears. Pharaoh's magicians and wise men were stumped, but the cupbearer remembered Joseph. Joseph was brought before Pharaoh. With humility and faith, he told Pharaoh that it was not he, but God, who could provide the meaning of the dreams. Joseph interpreted them as a warning from God. 7 years of abundance would be followed by 7 years of severe famine. Joseph advised Pharaoh to prepare, to store grain during the years of plenty, to survive the years of scarcity. Pharaoh was amazed by Joseph's wisdom and discernment. He saw in Joseph a man of insight and integrity and appointed him as the second most powerful person in Egypt, giving him authority over the entire land. Joseph's rise from slavery to rulership was extraordinary, yet it was not by his own power, it was God's plan unfolding. The famine Joseph had predicted came, just as God had shown him. People from all nations came to Egypt seeking grain. Among them were Joseph's own brothers, unaware that the powerful Egyptian official before them was the brother they had betrayed. Joseph recognized them immediately, but he faced a difficult choice. Should he reveal himself and punish them, or should he show mercy and fulfill God's greater plan? After testing their hearts and seeing genuine repentance, Joseph revealed his identity. "I am Joseph, your brother, whom you sold into Egypt," he said, his voice filled with emotion. At first, his brothers were terrified, fearing revenge. But Joseph reassured them, saying, "Do not be afraid. Am I in the place of God? You meant evil against me, but God meant it for good, to bring it about that many people should be kept alive as they are today." Joseph's forgiveness was complete. He did not hold grudges, he did not seek revenge. Instead, he embraced his brothers and provided for them during the famine. The family that had once been torn apart by jealousy and betrayal was restored, united by faith, forgiveness, and God's providence. The story of Joseph teaches us several profound lessons. Faith in the midst of adversity, even when betrayed by those closest to him and thrown into prison, Joseph never lost faith in God. Integrity and righteousness. Joseph's moral courage, even when tempted, demonstrated that true character is tested in trials. God's sovereignty. Joseph's journey reminds us that even when life seems unfair or cruel, God's plan is at work, bringing good from what seems evil. Forgiveness and reconciliation. Joseph forgave his brothers and helped them, showing that mercy and grace have the power to heal broken relationships. Joseph's life journey, from favored son to slave, from prisoner to ruler, was a testament to the power of faith, patience, and trust in God's timing. Every challenge he faced, every betrayal and hardship, was part of a greater plan that he could only understand in retrospect. Even today, Joseph's story continues to inspire millions around the world. It reminds us that our dreams, our purpose, and our destiny may not unfold immediately. There will be trials, obstacles, and betrayals along the way. But if we remain faithful, maintain our integrity, and trust in God, we too can witness the fulfillment of our dreams and the realization of our divine purpose. Joseph's journey of faith and destiny is a timeless story that resonates across generations. It encourages us to hold on to hope, embrace patience, and recognize that even in the darkest moments, God's light is guiding the way. In the end, Joseph's story is not just about dreams, betrayal, or triumph. It is about the unwavering power of faith, the beauty of forgiveness, and the assurance that God's plan is always greater than our understanding. This is the story of Joseph, a journey of faith, betrayal, and divine destiny. A story that proves, no matter the trials, God's purpose will always prevail.